Excuse-moi. Hey everyone, it's CurlyHairedHero, and welcome back to Pokemon Uranium. It's been once again quite some time before I've decided to pick this up again. I've been having some issues even wanting to play this game, just because of the way this section that I'm in, this route here, is performing. So what I was trying to do is I was gonna play. I backed up my save file, put it on my laptop, and I was gonna play it on that while I'm at work or I'm in bed, just so I can sort of get a lay of the land, and so that when it comes time to actually record, I can get things done, more or less a lot quicker. So I'm not over here bumbling around and worrying about dumb shit. But I realized that on my laptop, which has a better CPU than my desktop here, for most things, presumably should be for this kind of thing, it performs way better, but it was still running like a potato. So it's just because this area of the game is just really badly, I guess, implemented. I don't know how to really describe it. I don't understand how the developers, they just let this sort of thing kind of happen. I don't know if it's just poor optimization on my end, but basically what it is just RPG Maker is not really too great at handling several things on screen at once. So you gotta try and make your routes or your maps or your scenes, I forgot what they call it, I believe it's maps, you gotta make them as small as possible, because you see here I'm going at like 15 frames per second or something like that, and this girl is supposed to be riding her bike. She's basically on her bike pushing it forward, like jerking it forward, not even like pedaling. It just looks really bad. And I know that happens a lot in this other game, Pokemon Reborn. You got this like huge city that you start off, and it looks nice and all, but because of the fact that it's RPG Maker, it just doesn't run very well. On top of the fact that it's RPG Maker modified to run as a Pokemon game. That I'm sure that doesn't help it out much, because there's a lot of things that are different, that RPG Maker does differently that Pokemon tries to, or rather, there's a lot of things that RPG Maker does differently that Pokemon does differently that this the Pokemon Essentials pack tries to emulate as best as possible. And to their credit, they do a great job. I'll give them that much. It's just up to, I guess, the designers or the developers to design it a little bit better. But I don't know. I feel like I'm always ragging on this game, and there's really no real point for me to do that, because like it's really not that big of a deal anymore. Because like before, when it came out, everyone was talking about like, wow, it's so cool, and like Kotaku was like, oh, they took 7 trillion years to make this game, it's so amazing, and then everyone was like, wow, random people like, wow, that have never played any sort of hack game or ROM or fan-made game, like, wow, that's so awesome, I wish Pokemon was like this, and all this other dumb shit without even playing the game. And then they had their whole controversy with instead getting a cease and desist from Nintendo. But in any case, I feel like at that point when the game came out and all that was happening, I was maybe a little bit biased and I was a little bit harsh, just because like I was kind of annoyed of everyone just giving it so much praise and not even playing it, or even playing other things that might have been even really good, because there's a lot of good fan and hack games out there. Once I was a trainer of some renown. What the hell is that? But now I'm retired. My kids have my Pokemon now, and I enjoy the quiet life. What the hell's a renown? Well, in any case, let's go ahead and see. I don't really know if there's too much that I can do in this route per se. I don't know why it's like, see, the performance here is a little bit better, which is ironic because you got the water animation. So I don't know what the hell it is up there that makes this run so bad. We got Birdie, who's passed out. I want to change up my team again, like in terms of like using different Pokemon. because like I'm not really feeling birdie too much. But the problem is that with doing stuff like what I like to do is I like to do switch training. I like to train a team of at least like 12 Pokemon and I just switch them out to vary things up, just because I played Pokemon so many different times that it kind of becomes essential to swap things out like that to keep it fresh. Or do like, you know, there's only so many times I can do a Nuzlocke run, right? But the problem with this game is that it's so slow sometimes that it takes forever for me to level up. So to have to level up 2 separate teams, it's a bit discouraging for me to go with my usual, wow, that hurts, with my usual plan of attack, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, come on. Oh, it's an ice type attack. That's what that is. Alright. That sucks. I want Birdo to get some experience, but more importantly, stay alive so that I can use the damn, the coin that it has. But, oh well. But yeah, I especially like doing that switch training in these fan games or these ROM hacks. You know, there's new Pokemon to use, so I want to try and use. I obviously can't use everything, but I want to at least use some of them, or at least a good amount of them, right? Test the waters a little bit, show them off a little bit, because I feel like that's what the main draw to a fan game should be. Its Pokemon. Unless it's the kind of game where it's it doesn't have any Fakemon. I don't know. I don't understand the stigma that people have against Fakemon. But if it's a game that doesn't have Fakemon, then your main thing should be your story and how you intersperse your Pokemon within the routes, so that you know it's not always just a Pokemon game with your crazy fancy story, but I'm still only using the Kanto starters and Weedle and Caterpie and that kind of shit, but yeah, there's this weird sort of stigma with Fakemon just because they're not real. Like, obviously they're not real. It might be just the name Fakemon kind of rubs people the wrong way, but like, I don't know, people just like, they see games that have Fakemon and they're just like, oh, what is this shit? This isn't a real Pokemon. Oh, gross! And not appreciating the fact that someone put in a bunch of hard work into making their own Pokemon, designing it, making the sprite for it, coming up with its own lore, whatever the case. Like, I don't understand why people can be like that sometimes. I don't know, but I think it's similar to the sort of Gem Winners mentality that only first generation Pokemon are the only ones that should ever exist. I think it's somewhat similar to that only real Pokemon should exist in Pokemon games, but that might have been true maybe on like 3rd generation or something like that, when people were making Fakemon, because like, fine, whatever. But at this point where we have so many different Pokemon, I'm pretty sure it's okay for other people to make their own Fakemon, unless they make them really bad or weird. Like, I've played both Morimons on my channel as failed Nuzlocks, but I would understand if they did something weird and cringy, like they made nude Pokemon or weird female Pokemon, or like something unnecessary like that. Like, you don't need to bring in that kind of stuff into Pokemon. Maybe that I would understand, or if it was like some sort of weird mechanical or dark, something that just takes away from the fact that it's a Pokemon, like it doesn't add up, basically. I would understand that too, but I don't know, you fucked up that spread a little bit. I mean, maybe not, the person probably didn't fuck up entirely, they probably just didn't have another, no, actually no, that kind of looks kind of weird. Because what they could have done is just the way they tiled it down, they could have created a separate tile that has the finishing. So if they wanted to create that short tile effect, rather than having them all being long, you would create the finishing on the bottom so it looks like its own standalone thing. But they might have not decided to do that, but it kind of looks here like they just forgot or something, I don't know. We can go here down, and we can go to the left and down. I believe they both take us to the same place. Yeah, okay. We got some more trainers here. I believe, whoopsie daisy, I need to switch out Birdie from the front of the party. I heard there were UFOs spotted around here, so I'm on the lookout. Whoa. If I remember correctly, I saw munching. What the fuck? Nymphflora? Whoa. That's probably a fairy type too. Yep. Oof. A critical hit. Okay. So definitely don't want to go into Yao Man. Yes. Okay, so it should be... Presumably this thing is grass and fairy, so it should be 4 times weak to poison. Which it is. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I remember seeing Munching Orange play this game for the most part. I didn't really see too much of his playthrough of it, but I do remember that there was some sort of interactable Pokemon. I don't know what you want to call it. Pokemon that just kind of like stand alone and you have a chance to catch them. Some which are legendaries, but not actual legendaries. Like the Lapras that you find in Gold and Silver. I can't really think of any good examples aside from that Lapras right now. There's a Drifloon in Generation 4 that you just kind of just find lying about on like Fridays or something like that. Those kinds of Pokemon. There's like a UFO in this game. There's a UFO Pokemon, and that, you know, you can encounter it and have a chance to catch it. So I guess that means I'm coming up to that pretty soon. Wow. That's cool. I guess I'm just wasting my time. No, it's okay. I'll find it and I'll let you know if I get a hold of it. I don't really know where I am. I know I'm trying to make my way towards the next gym, but I don't exactly know which direction I'm going to. This route is pretty massive. Yeah, fight me! So that's probably why we're having such an issue with the performance, is just because the route is so massive. They decided to not, for example, split it up so that there would be, by split it up, I mean, the only way you can do it is when you're walking, you know, like when you go into a house, or like when you hit one of those houses in between routes, those like checkpoints, whatever you want to call those. Those are what you would use in Pokemon games in order to distinguish different maps. Unfortunately, I don't think these guys decided to do any of that. They decided... I'm getting ahead of myself. Basically, what they could have done, right, is they could have made this map really big in design, and they could have split it up into different sections. So, like, let's say I'm walking here by this log, and then it would teleport me to another section, another map. But it would still be within the same area, and it would be kind of seamless. So that way the performance would be a little bit better. They could have done something like that, but instead they decided to go the route of just sticking everything onto one big giant map, which is why this is also laggy, considering that there's so much going on with, you know, all the trainers, all the different events, and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I don't know, whatever. I guess it does give it a sense of authenticity that they didn't do something like, for example, like in the Zelda games, where like you reach the edge of the screen and it kind of shifts you to another part of the map. That's what I was essentially thinking of doing when I was developing my own fan game. But I ended up just finding out more better how to use the Essentials pack, and I figured out, you know, how to actually move players around maps, the Pokemon kind of way. God damn it. Speaking of my fan game, I don't know, I haven't worked on that since. Like, I started working on that, me and my girlfriend, we got some pretty good steam working on the first parts of the game, you know, where you get your Pokemon. I had some good ideas for that, and we were working on that. You know, we had a schedule and a calendar and all that stuff. But then a lot of horrible shit happened that year, and I just haven't gotten back into that. Like, that's when, unfortunately, one of my dogs passed away. And then that led to my whole stint with, oh fuck, I hated that you can do that in this game. Accidentally use items. Another critical hit. Yeah, that occurred. My dog passing away, and then I had problems with my health, and you know, I don't know if physical is the right word, because it's not like I had a physical injury, but you know, my high blood pressure and all that stuff, my kidneys, and then my mental health, because I had a lot of anxiety and depression developing from the fact that I thought my situation was pretty severe, and, you know, etc., etc. So that all happened on the cusp of that. So basically, that fan game just got completely put on hold and shelved. Never even worked on it ever again after that. Originally, what I was planning on doing is, after finding out what happened with Uranium, I saw the Completely Unnecessary podcast with Pat and I don't even remember the other guy's name now because I haven't seen it in so long. But basically, they were talking about Pokemon Uranium, and they were saying how instead of making it a Pokemon game, they could have just changed the name, similar to what's the word? A Sonic game. There you go. That had come out. It was a fan game, but they changed the name, so it wasn't under the Sonic title. It was a completely different game. It was its own standalone thing, and they released it, and they were able to make money off of it. And they didn't, they couldn't get any heat from Sega because it's a different name. It's not Sonic, even though it has similar mechanics. Because you can't copyright mechanics. You can only copyright names and characters, right? So they were saying similarly how Pokemon Uranium guys, they should have, instead of changing it, instead of keeping it as Pokemon Uranium, they should have changed it to something else, had their own standalone thing, even though if it would have been really similar, even though, a lot of people would have seen it and been like, oh, look at this fake ass Pokemon shit. Like a lot of those Chinese Pokemon games you see on like Facebook for a mobile phone, which are really stupid. Like stuff like that. How do I even get over there? I guess I have to go down from the other side. Even though it would have been seen like that, eventually people would have been like, oh, yeah, no, this is dope. And they would have played it. They wouldn't have gotten cease and desist, and it would have been pretty good. Could have made some money on it, off of it on Steam. They could have made a name for themselves, stuff like that. But instead, because they went with the Pokemon route, or the Pokemon name, Pokemon trademark, they got hit with the ban hammer, I guess. Gosh, this place is so boring! It's just wheat and stuff. I can't wait to leave. I don't even know where the hell to go from here. But in any case, what I was trying to get at is that that's what I was going to go with. That's the route I was going to go with the Pokemon game. I was going to make it its own standalone thing, change the name. And then I was also developing something else that I've been developing for I shouldn't say developing. I've had an idea of something that I wanted to make into a game for a very long time. And so I was going to sort of combine the two because they sort of relate if I end up making it not Pokemon. Because technically the first thing that I'm talking about was loosely based on Pokemon and a bunch of other things. So if I change that, I changed that already, I should say, to something not Pokemon. And if I were to change this other fan game into something that's not Pokemon, since they're both similarly monsters that you can sort of catch and stuff, I can sort of link them up to have some sort of synergy between the two of them. So I was, thinking of doing that, but I ended up just never picking up the fan game after that. We just let it be, and then what I did up instead was I started taking some courses to learn how to use Unity online, and I was doing that. And then before that, I was working on a game design document for the other game that I was just talking about. But I haven't gone back to that yet. I was gonna start finishing that up this year. I've finished the document for the most part. I just didn't have story and character pieces in there. I wanted to sort of dive deep into the characters and how the story was going to play out. But I basically went down through the mechanics. That's what I did. I did all the battle mechanics and all that kind of other stuff. The more important stuff. The story stuff, I've been sort of working on that on a notepad on my phone when I have the time. All of these goddamn trainers have like 100 Pokemon. It's funny because I'm complaining about it when I play, actual Pokemon games because they give them like 1 or 2, and then I complain about it in what was it, Light Platinum, because everyone had like 6 or 5 Pokemon. It was just crazy, unbalanced, and ridiculous. So I can either never be satisfied or there's just no balanced, happy medium in Pokemon games anymore. But in any case, so yeah, I was working on that, and then I've put the document out to the side, and I was gonna, transfer all the stuff that I had on my phone. I've been working on the story on my phone. I was gonna piece it all together by the end of the year and do some other stuff. Ooh, well, bullets, dude. But then now, because I'm switching over jobs, I've been just focusing on that. So I've been just focusing on... Oh, there's another Pokeball over there. I've been just mainly focusing on studying for that job, which is kind of weird to say, studying for a job that I already have, but it's just because I'm hired by this company, and then I'm going to get trained by this company. I just don't want it to be when it comes to training, I don't know jack shit, or I don't get overwhelmed, and I also want to try and make a good impression. East Divinable Town. Oh, so that's where we gotta go. Alright. So I guess I can end it off here. And then... God damn it, I'm trying to just... There we go. We'll end it off here. Next time, I'll finish off whatever's over there to the right. There's some little house. There's probably not much left in this route. And then I'll go check out Vinaville Town. Sorry about... There might have been some noise. Different from any other of the videos. Just because I stopped using a Steam controller. I used to use a Steam controller for this game. Just because I thought it would be a little bit quieter, but that was the only controller I can get to work with this game, which was really annoying. Couldn't get my Xbox controller to work. And then I also have the a Nintendo 8-bit Super Nintendo controller that I was hoping I could use for this, because that's really comfortable and perfect for this kind of game, but it doesn't work, unfortunately. But in any case, I've been using a keyboard, so that's why it might be a little bit louder than usual. Yeah, alright, I guess I'll continue my rambling next time. Stay fresh.